So this is my mom and dad, James and Ardeen Winters, and they arrived a while back, and we were delighted to have them come join us for some time and some adventures, and we'd like to share a little bit about that.
We've been here for about 2 weeks and have had lots of opportunities to explore the countryside as well as the city of Quito and the Galapagos Islands.
Right after you guys arrived, we had a car rented, a larger car for all 6 of us, and we were able to participate in what was supposed to be a bird watching sort of tour of one of the communities that I partner with, and we did see some birds. The accommodations were maybe a little rougher than we had anticipated. Katie and I got to share a twin bed for 2 nights because that was all there was. But I think we made the most of it, and we enjoyed our time there and saw lots of different animals and saw the landscape and met some interesting people.
You gotta wonder whether or not they're trying to lock you in the bedroom though, when the door fits tight and there's no handle on the inside.
Yep.
It was also interesting having one bathroom between 2 rooms, and the shower was ice cold.
No, there's no ice there.
So after we left the community, we drove across the Manduriyacu hydroelectric facility, and that highlighted just the severity of the drought as it was completely empty. And we went to Mindo. We were able to see some hummingbirds and butterflies and just enjoy that really popular tourist destination together. We had a really great time, and we're planning to return. After we got back into Quito, we spent the night together, and then the next morning I took you guys to the airport so you could go to the Galapagos.
The thing that stands out about the Galapagos is just how volcanic all of these islands are. And most of them that we visited were just dark, covered with dark, sharp pieces of lava that wouldn't look like rock, and they were very barren.
2 different types of lava. Headed at Boltra Island, and MJ met us there. Quite nice to have somebody that knows the procedure and that speaks the language. It just makes it a whole lot less stressful. I didn't go too far before we had to get on a water taxi and to the other island, and then on the way across we saw the 2 sinkholes, and we stopped at the lava tube, Tortoise Ranch, and then we had, I think, a late dinner there before we ended up getting to
Puerto Ayora.
Puerto Ayora. All told, we went snorkeling. We visited a number of sites. We saw, first time ever I'd seen mangroves, and we managed to meet all 4 species of mangroves. Saw flamingos there at a couple different locations more.
We had to take about a 2-hour ride on a boat, a fast speedboat, across the ocean to get to it. I will admit to having had some trepidation about that particular trip, but I definitely made it into more than it really was. It was absolutely wonderful to see the expanse of water, and one of the things that struck me during that part of the trip was just how thankful I was that God had created this planet with all this water. and I could not even imagine how much water there is, but that view just impressed me. I think Isabella was a little more quaint. The community we stayed in was smaller, more small townish. It did feel quieter, so that you could really enjoy the ocean view from your room or wherever you were, and it wasn't like big city behind you. And that was very, very nice.
After they went to the Galapagos Islands, these last few days, we've been able to enjoy some time here in Quito together. And we went up to the equator site, which is called Ciudad Mitad del Mundo, the city at the middle of the world, and got to stand on the equator there and enjoy that location. We went out to El Refugio, which is a Bible camp located near there that is run by some missionaries that we met 7 years ago when we were here. Dad got to do a little bit of consulting as a veterinarian and help them with their newly established alpaca business for alpaca fur. And today we went to an archaeological site called Rumipamba, which is very interesting. We got to see some archaeological dig sites, some ruins, and some artifacts dating back almost 4,000 years, I think 3,500 years. Yesterday we went to the Compañía de Jesus, which is a gold gilded or lined church, Catholic church here in the Central Historic District of Quito, very famous church. And it was, I've been there many times, but I thought that your reactions and sort of interaction with the space made it clear that it's pretty impressive. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's beyond what you can even imagine. A good part of the facility is covered with gold, and it's a combination of newer items but also very old items, and it's in a style of art called Baroque that emphasizes symmetry, and what was the other one?
It abhors empty spaces.
Yeah, there were cherubs everywhere.
158 on the historic pulpit alone.
Yeah, it definitely was an adventure because of a lack of rain and not enough water flowing through the dams in the southern part of Ecuador. The city is throughout the day and night shutting off power to different neighborhoods, and so typically while we would have been here, the power would go off at 8 o'clock,
8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
8
Yeah, this week it's been 8 and 8. Yeah.
and then it stays off until sometime
4
after
hours,
midnight,
Yeah.
and then it turns off again in the
Yeah.
morning.
Hopefully getting better every week, but yeah, last week was 10 hours of power outages every day. This week was 8. Next week, hopefully 6.
Eating here was also an adventure for the first while, especially when we were in the community that Brandon works with. We ate a lot of the foods that they would typically eat, and one of the ones that made the most impression was a bowl of soup that had literal chicken feet in it.
2 feet per person, I think.
I
right?
think so, yes. The soup was excellent, and every meal had rice and some type of bean, I believe, and these little, I don't know if they were plantains or yuca, but these little fried, they were yellow and they would fry them and
Patacones.
the time
Well,
of
they
day.
needed to be served with something because they got no flavor of their own.
And then even as we were out and about in other places, we ate up quite a bit of what would be considered local fare. So it was really nice the last couple of days to go out and enjoy things like ice cream and hamburgers and French fries.
Yeah,
and
but we tried ceviche,
we did.
the first time.
And probably the most adventurous thing we ate was guinea pig. Actually, it was very good. I would have it again.
At least cooked there.
Yes, cooked in that restaurant.
They did a very nice job.
It was a little bit weird seeing the pen of guinea pigs outside the restaurant.
Yeah. That's like a tank full of lobster. You could choose. We didn't choose our guinea pig, but
No.
thanks, Andrew Zimmern, for your recommendation. The guinea pig was wonderful.
Yes.
And over the last couple of days that you were here with us, we enjoyed going to the Botanical Garden in Quito, where they have a large variety of different local plants and other plants from around Latin America. The cactus selection was pretty amazing, along with the orchids. The biodiversity here in Ecuador is pretty incredible. And then Katie found a science museum in Quito that we didn't know about, and we really enjoyed that. It sits in the facility that used to be a textile factory, and we had a fun time visiting and exploring some aspects of science there. Always something that we enjoy doing together, and this was no different by any stretch. We had a great time together. So tonight we're saying goodbye, and Mom and Dad will be going home, flying overnight, and we look forward to being home again to see you at Christmas, but we're so thankful that you were able to come and visit for the last 2 weeks.
It was great. Thank you for having us.
Adios.
Amigos.